distractions, so many difficulties, challenges come in our way. But whatever it is, we must not forget that which looks like divided. Avivaktam cha vivaktishu. It looks like divided, but it is not. Apparently, we all are different, but in reality, it is not. We are one, and therefore, we must dwell on that truth. And then Bhagavan further elaborates. I'm just going there, say, meaning of it. Remembering whatever object at the end, he leaves the body, and that alone is reached by him. Usana Kunti of his constant thought of that object. Why it is so? As Sri Ramakrishna also said, that an elephant is that naturally smears with dust and dirt to pull it down. Therefore, what it is done after bathing, the elephant is put into its place of dwelling, so that, and it is locked so that it does not smear with dust and dirt. So, Bhagavan said at the end, therefore, why worry? Let us enjoy this world, eating, drinking, and merrymaking. And we'll see at the time what happens. But that does not happen. Because whatever we do, that leaves some impressions in our minds. That impression is the guiding force, or samskara, residual impression that we have. Therefore, it is to be practiced always. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Therefore, all the time, not intermittently. It is like taking breath. We cannot say, okay, let me have a holiday of 5 minutes, or say some gap, then this body will fall off. Therefore, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yuddhacha. But you cannot run away from your duties. Therefore, what is to be done? Say, I'm talking, if I can think that I'm talking to God, then it is the same effect. I'm remembered all the time. So, we are to remember God all the time. God means again, our God is not sitting somewhere else. He's already within us. Ishvara sarvabhutana hridyasya arjuna tishthati. And he who dwells in you is also immanent everywhere. In you, in every being. Therefore, we are to be reminded all the time. Tasma sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yuddhacha. You are to fulfill your duties. You are to perform your duties. You are to discharge your duties. But duties as not duties, as offering to God. Whatever words being used, that let that be a worship to my divine who is in front of me. Then what will happen? Maya pita manabuddhi mameva vishyasi. Therefore, with mind and intellect absorbed in me, thou shalt doubtless come to me. Why? Because your mind is absorbed in, saturated. It's like making sarbat. We put some sugar in water and it dissolves. And then we keep on pouring till it saturates. Then if we keep it and put more sugar, it can absorb more. But then there is super saturation. And after that, when it cools down, it becomes crystal. So by thinking constantly on God, our being becomes Brahmavit, Brahmaiva Bhavat. So this is what Sri Krishna said. The problem is it's difficult. As soon as we go to the world, as soon as we step out of this room, we fall. Therefore, it is to be practiced. That is what Sri Krishna says. Abhyasi yogi yuktin chetasa na anyagami. Abhyasi yogi, abhyas. And not only abhyas, abhyasa vairagyabhyam tanvirodha. One is vairagya. Vairagya means not to be tempted by the senses. And that means we are to inculcate positive ideas and also to practice it. So it is like this. If we walk towards east, west will be left behind. But we have to walk, that's abhyas, we have to practice. Abhyas yoga yuktina chetasa. Chetasa means with attention. And what kind of chetasa? What kind of attention? Na anyagami. Our attention should not be diverted in something else. So if one can do this, Paramam Purusham Divyam Da, Divyam Paramam Purusham, that is divine supreme being. He attains divine supreme being. Why? Because he is totally saturated in him. So this we have completed, but there are some points. See, the first is, as we have heard already, there are four kinds of people who worship God. Chaturvidha Vajanti Ma Jana Sukriti. The good people, Sukriti, those who are good karma, Sukriti. Chaturvidha Vajanti Ma Jana Sukriti. Oh Arjuna, four kinds of people worship or contemplate on him. Artha, Jignasu, Arthati, Jnani Chabhata. Artha means who is in difficulty. So difficulty means that he has some problem, maybe disease, maybe a social problem, and life-threatening some situation like Arjuna is also facing like that. So Artha means, oh God, please help me, please save me. So they are worshipping God, but for particular reason. It's not for the sake of God, but it is for his end to be fulfilled. God is a means for achieving that. The Jignasu. One is different questions. What is this world? What am I? Why am I here? What's the purpose of life? How this world was created? Most of the people, they also want to know. Even scientists, they are trying to understand this. Jignasu, Arthati. Oh God, please save me and pass me this examination. So for a particular reason, there also we find God becomes a means. So it is called Sakama Bhakti. Sakama with desire in sight. But some are there who follow Nishkama Bhakti. There's no desire. So all are worshipping God. But if you have, or if someone has got fruit in his sight, he'll attain that. So it is for him also the way will be opened. Will be opened. How? That's called Krama Mukti, step by step. Okay, this time he'll try to achieve something, and then he'll find that achievement is temporary. It is not permanent. Therefore, next time he'll try to achieve something which is permanent. So this way it is called Krama Mukti. But those who do not seek anything else, what they do? That's Sadhya Mukti. That means immediate. It's here and now. So, Sakama Bhakti, Nishkama Bhakti is very difficult. When everybody is having, fun in this world, there is no need of God. And they are enjoying that situation. And also sometimes they remember God. So, are they be to rejected? No. Let them have it. So God will give hint for both. And especially, it is difficult to conceive what God is. What is this? What is our highest being? Therefore, he'll give some catch, some hints, so that we can conceive. At least we can go beyond this sensual world. We have 5 senses, and whatever we experience in this world pertains to those experiences. I see something, we see something, we hear something, we touch, taste, and smell. That is whole world for us. Then how can we conceive something which is beyond senses? We can consider a little more. Okay, I'm seeing. How I'm seeing? I'm seeing with the help of our minds. We are seeing with the help of our minds. That coordinates, like I'm seeing you. You are seeing me now, so hearing me. So there must be a coordinator. So we can imply something which we cannot directly perceive. And then again, we can understand what is intellect. That by which we discriminate, or we can say this is this and not the otherwise. That is intellect. That also by implication we can understand. But then we stop. But philosophy must have 3 essential things. That it must conform with all sensual knowledge. Second, sensual knowledge means whatever we see, it should not be contrary to that. It must conform whatever we see, whatever we hear, and all the sensual experiences. But second, it should not stop there. Rather, it should also indicate what is the basis of that knowledge. What is the basis of that knowledge? How everything depends on it. That's the second point. See, scientists, they are studying things. But they say with the invention of some instrument, they can transcend this sensual experiences. But whatever they do, that will be within the sphere of 5 senses. only bit refined. So ordinarily we can see, say, some distance, but with telescope we can see more. But actually it is seeing. But here philosophy comes, Darshan Shastra comes, who shows us not only we see, but there is something underlying it, that truth should be understood. And the third point is, see, we can understand things, but that will not satisfy us. We must have the capacity to be and become that. Not only to understand that there is something underlying, but we must have that knowledge which will empower us to be that, to become that. Therefore, here Sri Krishna is not only giving some hints for ordinary people who can hold some ideas, but with the holding those ideas, he can be that and become that. You sit down somewhere. So we are at that antakale chamami, when at the end our senses are not under our control. In mind, we don't know. Say somebody is in coma. He cannot understand what is going on. Therefore, there must be a catch, some hints by which we can understand or we can hold our mind there. So Bhagavan says, how to do that? Okay, conceive some being which has divine qualities. You know, we say, we bhaktas, we say, Ananta Kalyana Guna Sampanna. God has many auspicious qualities. So here some hints are given. So he says, Kavim Puranam Anushashitaram Anuranyan Samanusmaridya Sarvasya Dhataram Achintya Rupam Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastat. Tamasa Parastat. So this is Purusha. Purusha means Purnatvena. That means that which is complete and full. And he has filled up everything. So we'll go one by one. Kavim. What is Kavi? Kavi means Krantadarshi, who can see the horizon. That means who knows everything. Sarvadarshi. So it is omniscient, who can reveal everything. Who is the revealer? The ultimate revealer. So Kavim, Kavi, poets. The simple translation is poet. But here poet means, whatever one cannot conceive, poets conceive. Even this, some novels were written about outer space and this, that, and now those are happening. So some imagination, whatever one can imagine, and he can, or later that can be achieved. So Kavim is such, omniscient. Puranam, it is ancient. So Purana, we also say our Purana, that means the mythology. Because that's also old. It happened in older time. That is Smriti. So Kavim Puranam Anusashitaram. He's the discipliner, or he is overruler. Because of him, sun, moon, and everything is obeying, observing the routine that they are undertaking. So, Anushasitaram, overruler. But it is Anoraniyan. It is subtler than the subtlest. And we know that Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. Upanishad says, Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan Atma Guhayam Nihito Asya Janto. Though it is subtler than the subtlest and the bigger than the biggest. That's a Brahman, bring all expanse. So, Anuranyan Mahato Mahiyan Atma Guhayam Nihitosya Jantu. But he is our self also, our real self, Atman. And what is that? And he is Nihitam Guhayam. He is lodged in the heart, cave of our heart. Cave of our heart means is at the center of our being. Because of him, we exist. See, we are touched all the time. I give example. Like we are sitting on our chairs, but chairs are on the ground. The ground is on earth, and the earth is in the universe, and the universe is in Brahman, in God, Lord. So we are all the time touched by him. In the puja also we recite similar mantra. Asyasana Povishna mantra Sameru Shishutalam Chanda Kuru. This asana is touched by Mother Earth, and Mother Earth is touched by Vishnu, all pervading. And therefore, I am in Vishnu. That is why everything is pure. As soon as we try to separate ourselves and we feel that we are different, then comes limitation, then comes dirt and dust and all kind of blemishes. But that is not our real self. We are touched by him, or we are in him all the time. So, Anuranyan Mahato Mahiyan Atma Guhayam Nihito Asya Janto Tamakratu Pashyati Vita Shoko Dhatu Prasadan Mahimanam Ishan. Dhatu Prasadan. Dhatu means here our inner being, when it is pleased. So we can realize him. And they realize Tamakratu Pashyati Vitashu, and he becomes without shoka. Shoka means without any lamentation. And anyway, shoka. Let us have that. There is no separation, and therefore we don't lament. Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan Atma Guhayam Nihitasya Janto Tamakratu Pashyati Vitashoho Dhatu Prasadan Mahimanam Ishan. So this is Dhatu Prasada. Sometimes in Shvetashveta Upanishad, it is the Acharya Shankar explained it. It is the pleasing presence of God. But in Kathopanishad, that it is the inner being, when it is pure and perfect. So he said that, therefore, whatever we take, when we are pure, when we do not have any ambiguities or do not have any dirt and dust in our being, then it reveals itself. Tamakratu pashyati vidasho dhatu prasadan mahimanam isha. And as you know, the Gita is Sarva Upanishadu Gavo Dugdha Gopalam. So it represents all Upanishads. So all these are taken from Upanishads, and gist is provided to Arjuna and through Arjuna to us. So here it is said that Vedaham Purusham Mahantam Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parsta. I have known that Purusha. Purusha means Purnatvat Puri Shainatva, who is Purna, complete, full, and who resides within us, who resides everywhere. The Puri Shainat means he resides in the city. City means this city of 9 gates. So Kavim Puranam Anushashitaram Anuraniyan Samanusmartiyaha Sarvasya Dhataram Achintya Rupa. Sarvasya Dhata, he is the holder of all. But he cannot be conceived by this mind. Why? Because he cannot be objectified. Though we say that we have to divinize. But what happens? It is not in objects. It is the eternal subject that underlies all objects. So it is eternal subject. So whenever we say we deify, that means what? We are to see that who is the eternal subject is underlying all objects. Objects are with name and form. Name and forms are temporary. Names and forms shine because that underlying truth, underlying entity, which is eternal subject, because of that we see. We interact. Say, I'm interacting with you. It's because that eternal subject on which we all subsist. So, Sarvasya Dhataram. So he holds everything. Even he holds everything, like as we see, is the discipliner, as it were. It is important. Why? Because it is not conceived. One cannot conceive outright. Therefore, one should first try to understand what is understandable, and then gradually transcend that situation. Nirvishesham param brahma sakshat kartum manishwara. So it is very difficult to conceive such who is without any subject-object relation. Therefore, ye manda te anukampat. For those who are weak in understanding, for them, out of compassion, God creates various forms and also names. These are, because it is based on truth, therefore we go through that to reach that who is Nirvishesha. We cannot give an adjunct because then it is limited, and whatever is limited is temporary, and whatever is temporary is not permanent, and that cannot stand truth. So anyway, we are studying Kavim Puranam Anushashitaram
Kavim Puranam Anushashitaram Anuraniyan Samanusmaridyaha Sarvasya Dhataram Achintya Rupam Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastha. Now Aditya Varnam. Aditya Varnam like sun. Its color is like sun. Color means here, say Ranjateti. So it's Varna. Varna, that's why even Varna, that means the letters also are called Varna. But here, Aditya Varnam, he is like Aditya, he is like sun. What is the speciality of sun? It reveals everything. So we can see each other because of this light. But light cannot reveal darkness. Say, in your deep sleep, when your eyes are closed, so in your deep sleep, when your eyes are closed, we can see darkness. How? Because of our consciousness, we can relate our experience by closing our eyes that yes, I can see darkness because I am conscious, I am aware. So this awareness reveals darkness, but sun cannot reveal darkness. So how to say? So for ordinary people, that's why Aditya Varnam, it is like Aditya. Sun reveals. But sun cannot reveal darkness because there is no darkness. When sun is there, darkness cannot exist. But this is self-effulgent, self-luminous. Therefore, against it, everything is revealed. Even darkness is also revealed. Aditya Varnam, Tamasah Parastat, and he's beyond even Tamas. Aditya Varnam, Tamasah Parastat, Vedaham Purusham. The realized soul is said from the pedestal, high pedestal, that I have known him who is beyond even sun and who is beyond darkness. I have known him. Srinnantu Vishwe Amritasya Putra. Listen, all the children of immortality. I have found him. Tameva viditva ati mrittumeti nanyah pantha vidyatena. By knowing him alone, one can go beyond darkness. There is no other way. So all these we find in Upanishad. Kavim Puranam Anushashitaram. So Puranam also tells it. Vedaham etam ajaram Puranam sarvatmanam sarvagatam vibhutvam. It is also in Shvetashvatara Upanishad. And then he's the holder of everything. Sarvasya Dhataram Achintya Rupam. Why we cannot conceive? Because he cannot be objectified. It is eternal subject. Achintya Rupam. And our mind can conceive only which is limited with name and form and with adjuncts, with qualities. Artha, Kriya, Karitva. So all these, but he cannot be indicated even. But he is eternal subject. So these are the clues. So his Kavi is like Krantadarshi, is like omniscient, Puranam, ancient, Anushashitaram, is the overruler, and Anohaniya, subtler than the subtlest, and also bigger than the biggest, because he is all pervading, Sarvasya Dhataram. He's a sustainer, he's the holder of all. And Achintya Rupam, one whose form is inconceivable. But he's Aditya Varnam, he's the revealer. He reveals everything. He illumines everything. Self-luminous, like the sun, tamasa parastat, beyond darkness. That means beyond ignorance. Ignorance, ajnana. Though he creates with the help of his power, Shakti, but he is all through this creation. So Parastat, Prayana Kali Manasachalin. So now next we go to this. Prayana Kali at the time of death. Manasa Achalin. Achalin means unwavering through one's mind. Manasa means mind, intellect, in the whole being. That's why that Dhatu Prasada. When we have no other thoughts, then what? That's pure. And Sri Ramakrishna said, pure mind, pure intellect, and pure Atman is one and the same. So here, Manasa Achalena, when mind is unwavering and totally poised in him, and he's full of devotion, bhaktya yukto yoga balena, and also he has strength of his yoga balena. Fuller, minuter than an atom, the sustainer of all, of form inconceivable, self-luminous like the sun, and beyond the darkness of Maya. See, darkness, not only the darkness that we think, the darkness of our understanding. Because of multiplicity, we get confused. What is real? Many times we have some realization. That's why we say, oh, I realize this. But then that realization also goes away. So that's not real realization. So this is the play of Maya. But what is substratum? Eternal witness that we are to contemplate. He who meditates on him thus at the time of death, full of devotion, with the mind unmoving, not going here and there. Now, Sri Ramakrishna said, people teach parrots, say Hare Krishna, so it will say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. But as soon as there is a cat, it will make its own sound, keh, keh, keh. So that means if we repeat God's name, and we forget his name at the time of death, then it is not done well. Therefore, with our whole being, we have to recite God's name and to be attached with him, so that we are not interested in anything else, or we do not waver. So him, thus, at the time of death, full of devotion, with the mind unmoving, and also by the power of yoga. Power of yoga, that means whatever one has practiced, and he has united himself with the self, fixing the whole prana between the eyebrows, he goes to the supreme resplendent Purusha. As we have already studied, that supreme Purusha, Purushottama, Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha. Kshara Purusha means this, what changes that we see within us. So this, the Purusha, that who is holding all these adjuncts. And then Akshara Purusha, that means who has created this, all these. But there is one who is beyond, that means Uttama Purusha. So here that Purusha, Uttama Purusha, who holds everything. Puri Shainath Purnatvatva Purusha. So this is these are the hints that God has given. Now we'll go to the next. Yat Aksharam Brahma Vido Vadanti Vishanti Yat Yatayah Vitaraga Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Pravakshe. I'll tell you in brief what I'm going to tell you. What the knowers of the Vedas speak. Knowers of Vedas, Brahmavid. That means who knows the spirit of Veda. It's not only the huge body of texts or hymns, but the gist of Veda. Brahma Vido Vadanti. Yadaksharam Veda Vido Vadanti. And Vishanti Yat Yatayaha Vitaraga. And who dissolves. Vitaraga means freed from attachment. Raga and Dvesha, as you know. Dvesha also is kind of Raga. Dvesha means hating. So one is attached with hate. So Vitaraga, that's why we should practice in our lives. Situations will come. We like something, we don't like something. But in all situations, we have to see this underlying everything, that who is Supreme Being. Then we will not have this attachment or attachment, and also attachment to hatred. Aksharam, imperishable. Veda Vidaha Yat Aksharam. That means imperishable Akshara. That na ksharatiti Akshara. Which has no deterioration, no, it does not perish. And they also speak about it. Veda Vidaha Badanti. Vitaragaha Vishanti. And Yatayaha, Yatanashila, those who are trying. Those who are trying and also detached. They enter into him. And wishing Brahmacharya, Brahmacharyam Charanti. Yadichantu, wishing that, wishing whom people practice Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is continence, and also who walks on the path of Brahman. Brahmani charati iti brahmacharya. Brahmacharya. So that means those who walk on the path of Brahman. And also they are controller of senses. That means they have control over senses. Tatte padam sangrahena pravakshi. I'll tell you in short that padam, that supreme state. In short, what the knowers of the Veda speak of as imperishable, what the self-controlled, that means sannyasins, or here sannyasins, those who are trying jatana shila, freed from attachment, enter, and to gain which goal they live, the life of brahmacharya, that I shall declare unto thee in brief. So after this, he tells about this, but we have almost come to the point, to that time. So if you have any question, we can.
We have a couple of.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, we have one question from YouTube, Akshay. So Akshay is asking, Brahman is all pervading, but in inert things, consciousness is not there. Then what is the meaning when we say Brahman is all pervading?
Say, even inert thing, nowadays computer, we can say that take example. So it looks inert, but through computer you are connected with us. So actually it is consciousness, even you conceive inert thing through your consciousness. Therefore, we cannot say that inert things are outright different. Everything, whatever we see or experience, based on that consciousness. You, by your intellect, you are saying it is unconscious. But same unconscious, if you put, say like, apparently animals look like they are not sensitive. But if you train, you can find they are sensitive, they are living. And Jagadish Chandra Bose, he showed scientifically, plants laugh, rejoice, even they morose. And also, not only that, even tin foil, when you crack it, then it cries. He scientifically showed it. So it is how you look at it. That's why when we handle things, we are to be careful. We make lots of noise. And we throw things, Holy Mother saw Nalini Didi after sweeping through that broom to that place where it was kept. Then mother scolded her, said, "What are you doing? Everything, if you honor everything, that will, and till this time you used it, and then you are throwing it. You are to honor everything, not only human being, not only animal being, not only the plants, but apparently it is inert, but it is not inert. Those who experience, they experience everything is full of consciousness, full of that which alone exists. In that, everything is revealed. So you see a dream, and in your dream you can see plants, animals, etc., etc. But in and through all the images, it is you and you alone who exist. Therefore, we have to be very careful even handling things. We should not feel that these are inerts. They cannot say anything. But they are all consciousness. You yourself, when you make noise, you are hurt. It's not that other people will be hurt. Therefore, it is all pervading. So we are seeing so many people. actually these are floating in my consciousness. So how can I say that these are unconscious? Things are also floating in my consciousness. As your dream floats in your consciousness, how can you say that you are not in those images? Say a painter paints various things. In and through all the paintings, it is the painter. So not only God is all pervading, you are all pervading in and through everything that you see or experience. If you hurt them, you hurt yourself. That is why we should not hate anyone. By hating, we hate ourselves. Anything else? Yes, Janma.
Early on, you were mentioning that you said how to go beyond the senses. The so-called coordinator, is higher than the five senses. And when you were talking about the coordinator, were you talking about the mind, manas?
Right.
Buddhi?
Mind. See, antaha karanam, inner instrument. Inner instrument can be divided into four. Mana, buddhi, chitta, ahamkar. Mind, intellect. Chitta means that which looks like animated because it is reflected consciousness. Chitta, as if it is conscious. And the sense of ego. So as this antakarana is reflected consciousness, immediately comes I am, I am, I am. Then comes we see, observe objective things. And from one, it jumps to another, and then another, and then another. Say I have to go to shopping. Oh, in shopping, maybe I have to drive. Oh, where to go? Let me go this way. No, tomorrow I have this work. So we jump from one object to another. There's the functioning of mind. But that which decides this is this and nothing like other things, that is intellect. So anthakarana can be divided into four. And that happens because chitta, as if it is conscious. See, like nowadays you can see, like robots. So it acts whatever is programmed. So programmer is the Purusha. So he puts his consciousness in that machine is called robot. And through that, then says, I am this. So he acts like that. And now sweep, and then it will sweep. Okay, start music, it will start music. So chitta, as if conscious, and then ego, and then it has programming. When it is said, now start music, so it will not sweep, it will start music. Because he has that analytical power. What is music? And then I should go and switch on the music. So this is intellect. But when it was thinking, is it sweeping or is it switching the music machine or whatever? Or I have to drive or this and that. So all these say functioning of mind. Right? So stop here with our prayer. And before that, I ask your forgiveness for our mismanagement today. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamivavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you very much.
Pranam Maharaj.
Yeah, namaskar.
May the Supreme Reality protect us from all hostile forces. Chamundai Om Ai Chamundai. With loving arms you tenderly embrace those who sought your love. With soothing voice you spoke to those who came near for comfort's sake. You welcomed all with open arms and made them your very own, and never turned away a weary soul from your open door. What a blessing to have seen your face. What a blessing to receive your grace. If only we had known you, Holy Mother, Holy Mother. Patiently you served our Master, Sri Ramakrishna, with a heart filled with adoration through all the tribulation. You welcomed all with open arms and made them your very own, and never turned away a weary soul from your open door. What a blessing to have seen your face. What a blessing to receive your grace. If only we had known you, Holy Mother, Holy Mother, Holy Mother.
Thank you.